Welcome back. Let's now look at what is a data pipeline as well as the use cases where you find uses for Apache Airflow. So what is a data pipeline? From a definition perspective, data pipelines generally consist of several tasks or action that needs to be executed to achieve a desired result. So watch this word, several tasks or actions. There could be several independent tasks and each task will have a code unit associated with it. It could be in a bash script or a Python script, or it need to do some database activity, maybe database procedures, functions, or some kind of a select statement. So this could be several tasks. So these several tasks has to be executed to achieve a desired result. So that's a data pipeline. An example, this is a simple example, very simple example, a small weather dashboard. So if you look at it, you might have somewhere you need to fetch data through an API and then populate it into a different dashboard. So two discrete systems. One is some system which is having weather related information, and you are going to execute that weather related information through an API and then populate into a different dashboard or a web location. So the process of extraction happens and then you populate it in a different dashboard. So this is simple extraction, and then you populate two different systems. So this is fetch is one task, and then probably you have to upload into the dashboard, that is in another task. So fetch, weather forecast, clean the data, or you want to transform. So suppose if the weather data is in Celsius, then you want to maybe you want to change it into Fahrenheit based on the need, or you want to manipulate, maybe you want to add some information into it and then push it. So in that case transformation does happen, then you push the data. So unless you fetch the data, you cannot clean the data. So there is a dependency there. So task dependency. So fetching the data is first task, and then only you can clean it or transform it, and then only you can push it. So there is a task dependency. So that's what is the arrow is all about. There is a task dependency, and these are the task node. So you push it, and there could be another one as well, predictions as well. So if it is cloudy, the temperature, depending upon the temperature, depending upon the humidity level, you predict whether it will rain or not. So then yeah, you got to take an umbrella to protect yourself. So you make the prediction based on the parameters, like just not the temperature alone, whether it is cloudy, and whether what is the humidity rate. So all this based on that, already based on looking at the history, you make the prediction. So that is another task. So once you do the prediction, it's kind of a machine learning process. So in a nutshell, this is the data pipeline which has several tasks, and there is a dependency between each of the tasks. Then it's called as the data pipeline. So use case where it can be used. So as we have seen, you want to extract the data, then transform or load it. This is an ETL process. Ideally in a data warehousing system, you do that where you want to do the predictions in ETL jobs. Machine learning pipeline is where you do the predictions, then delivery of data to an external system. You want to extract the data and deliver the data to an external system, then you use the data pipeline. So schedule jobs, backups, when to have the backup, database backup, data export at what point of time. So all these are the use cases. So any automated job that needs to run regularly based on dependencies, conditions. So based on dependencies, conditions, in that case, you use the data pipeline, and data pipeline tool, one of the tool is of course the Apache Airflow. One question comes to one's mind is, why not use cron jobs? If you're a person who is knowledgeable in a Unix system or Linux system, you would have heard the cron jobs. So cron jobs is something like which is schedule a command or a script at a specified time and date. On a specified time and date, you can trigger the script to run, command to run. That is the cron job. So Airflow is just like Apache Airflow or data pipeline, which is again we saw it's a data pipeline. It's much more powerful. You can have multiple tasks, and between the multiple tasks you can build the dependency, meaning only after completion of that particular job, the first job, the second job needs to start. Without completion of the first task, in our case the weather report, so unless the data from weather through a weather API, unless you have extracted the data, you cannot upload or you cannot process it. So that job has to complete extraction from the API of a weather data has to come out, and then only if it is completed successfully, then only you can proceed. If it has failed, probably you could retry, or there is no point in triggering the subsequent job. So that is where these dependencies are possible with data pipeline. That is where Apache Airflow is useful. So SLAs, notifications, metrics, as what time it is completed, number of failures, you want to do some kind of an analysis, you can all do this with Apache Airflow. You can look at the logs of these sites. So that's about it. Has the GUI facility as well. Apache Airflow has the GUI facility as well. So all this, that is dependencies between tasks, retries, SLAs, metrics, logs, GUI facility of the dashboard of Apache Airflow, these are available with Apache Airflow, which is a data pipeline. This is not available with the cron job utility. That is where it becomes much more helpful. We'll progress further. We'll look at in a little more detail about the task as well in the subsequent presentation. Thank you. Stay tuned.